Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and continue with our TEAC 6.8E, and it's about simple machines. You guys took a pre-test today, and a lot of you guys were not able to understand your pre-test, and that's the point of it, so that we can see what you know about simple machines. And then these next 2 days, we're gonna review, we're gonna learn, and you're gonna take that test again and show me what you have learned now. Remember that a simple machine is a device that makes work easier. They do not change the amount of work needed to lift an object, okay? We're gonna go ahead and use this video so that you can complete 2 foldables thanks to Science Doodle. I know you guys love these foldables, and it's a lot easier to understand the material when you have actual visuals. So your first foldable, inclined planes, you have a couple of pictures, and they're very simple pictures that you guys have seen. A lot of you see this in your daily lives. We have stairs. A lot of you guys might live in a 2-story home. We also have ramps. A lot of skaters use ramps. Maybe some stores to unload heavy material. 18-wheelers will use ramps to unload as well. We have a wedge, we have a slide, we have a screw, and we have a lever, I'm sorry. All right, let's go ahead and flip this, and we have work equals force times distance. When the distance a load has to travel increases, the force needed to move the load decreases. So remember this, when the distance a load has to travel, the force needed to move the load decreases. What does that mean? We're gonna go ahead and follow to the next page. Well, if the distance increases, that means that I'm gonna work less, right? So which ramp would require the least amount of force? Well, remember, if my distance increases, well, which one of these will increase? So, well, I have here 10 feet or 5 feet. Yeah, 10 feet. So since it's longer, I'm gonna work less, okay? So let's go ahead and put the longest ramp. And why? Always why? You have to make sure that you give me your evidence. Well, because it spreads the force over distance. So this one, I'm spreading it 10 feet. And here I have a shorter ramp, which means, yeah, it's less that I have to travel, but it's more work that I have to do. The longer the inclined plane is, the less force is required to move the load. Okay? All simple machines involve a trade-off between force and distance. So all simple machines involve a trade-off. What does it mean, a trade-off? Well, either I do more force or I travel more distance, okay? Inclined planes can help move heavy objects. The most common inclined plane is a ramp, just the way that it shows here, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next foldable. Our next foldable is pulleys. Have you guys seen pulleys before? Think about when they are putting a flag on one of the poles outside of your school. What are they doing? How do they pick it up? And I'm going to show you today at school. We're going to go to the front of the school, and I'm going to show you our pulley where we have our flags. So a pulley or pulley system consists of one or more grooved wheels and a rope. Okay, so this is your wheel right here, and that's your rope right there. Okay, all right. So we have investigating pulleys. Which load is easier to lift? You have A, you have B, and you have C. Well, let's go ahead and analyze all three of them. Well, the first one, you have the same force needed, it pulled at an angle. So if I pull it at an angle, I'm gonna need the same force. So this is not much easier. Why? Because I need the same force. I need the same newtons. Remember, N means newtons, right? That is the force. B, I have 50 newtons, but look at the way that I'm pulling. I'm pulling down. So this seems easier because it is pulled down. Okay, so this is a lot easier. Why? Because look at the way that I'm pulling down, okay? So I'm gonna use less force. Remember, the N stands for newtons, for force. Okay, and then I have C. Well, what's going on here? If you look at the difference between A, B, and C, here I have two wheels going on, okay? So this is less force needed with an extra pulley and more rope. So this is the easiest. Okay. Now work, we're gonna go back to the same thing. Work equals force times distance. Okay. When the distance increases, the force needed to move the load decreases. Okay. Examples of pulleys. You have a curtain rod, a bicycle chain, you have an elevator. Not the box itself, but whatever is on top of the elevator, you have a lot of pulleys. You have a flagpole. And a garage door. Okay, so let's just recap. So remember, investigating pulleys, depending on how and what direction you're going to be pulling, that's how much force you're going to be using as well. So for example, on A, you have 50 newtons and you're going to be pulling the same force as needed. So that's not going to be a lot easier to pull. If you're pulling down, you're gonna use less force, so this is a lot easier. And C, it's the easiest. Why? Because you have two pulleys and you have more rope, so the force needed is a lot less. Okay, remember that work equals force times distance, and when the distance increases, when I have a longer distance, the force needed to move the load is going to decrease. It's gonna go down. Okay. Make sure that you guys study and review your notes and watch the next slide so that I can show you how to fold your foldables. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and fold our foldables. The first one we have all about pulleys, investigating pulleys. The first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your paper half horizontally, and you're only gonna go ahead and make a crease right on the right hand side, right there. That's it. Unfold it. Again, you're gonna go ahead and fold it horizontally, but only towards the crease that you made, and you're gonna make another crease right there. Unfold, and you're gonna bring this bottom corner to the first crease, right there. Fold, and then you're gonna use this top corner and you're gonna go ahead and bring it right here, just like that. And you have your foldable all about pulleys. You have your wheel and you have your rope, and as you're opening it, you have all your information. The next one, you have inclined planes. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and bring your top corner all the way to the bottom. You're gonna fold, and then you're gonna bring this top corner and you're gonna bring it all the way to cover inclined planes. Okay, so I'm gonna cover inclined planes. And if you see, you have inclined planes, you have your ramp, and you have an inclined plane, okay? So you have your two foldables, inclined planes and all about pulleys. Make sure that you guys study and review your notes.